welcome. Come on in. It feels like it's been so long. Feels like it's been eons. Ages. The great drought of the fallen is over. Hello, I know. It's been a bit. It has been a bit. And it's because I got a new job. Yay. Twiins has an income again. Yippee, woohoo. And so that means I don't know what's happening with the stream schedule just yet. We'll figure it out. So yeah. The stream schedule will probably shift around a little bit, but I still wanted to be here and draw with you guys, because I said I was going to, because we're celebrating Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow. At least around here it is, and so we're gonna be drawing ships. Because that's what Valentine's is all about, is your favorite ships. So, I think we're gonna start with the Santa Maria. And go from there. So yippee. I don't know too much about the Santa Maria, but I do know that it's one of the more standout ships out there. It's definitely one of the more popular ones. Up there with, like, the Mayflower. But I don't think we're gonna do the Mayflower just because Columbus is stinky and dumb. I don't like that guy. So I don't want to draw his boat. Do you have couples in mind, or are you taking requests? Oh, you mean actually ships. Lol. This whole bit was worth it just for that. So yeah, just this is it. This is the whole stream. This is literally the only idea I had. Hello, how's it going? Going all right. Obtained new job. My color's a little dark. I'm gonna have to fix that. Fix that up a little. Yeah, I got a new job. I'm working for aliens now. That's the lore, by the way. Absolute aliens. So it's so cold where I work, and it's just all alien bullshit. So, yippee. Shifted from the back rooms straight to space. Oof, that's too thick for what I'm doing. Again, this, the crow's nest kind of situated here. But yeah, I work for aliens now, so I'm very cold. Happy Valentine's Day! I'm very cold all day, every day, and I said out loud, I was like, I hope one day when I grow up, I have a job where I'm not cold. Every job I've ever had, I've just been cold the entire time, whether it be because, like, working in a freezer, or just, like, in like, near an open door, or whatever. So, yeah, I'm always cold, and it's still the truth, I'm cold. But, you know, I'm making way more money working for the aliens. So, yippee, this also means I like, it's, like, I'm like, stop giving me money. You can if you want, but, like, don't feel like you need to support me. So yay, that's great, because I don't like feeling like a, oh, I've fucked it up. I've fucked it up. I fucked up the order of things. This part goes in the back. Whoops, that was the wrong button. This part goes in the back. And also I wanted to flip it, is what I was trying to do there. Yippee. And then these are in the front. A 30 stream streak, golly. Golly oh molly. I am not disappointed you are drawing my first thought. Are you stationed on Jupiter? I'm not stationed on Jupiter. It's one of Jupiter's moons. So I get a good look of Jupiter, but I'm not in the storm. So that's pretty good. 'Cause what a pain to have to to work in the storm. Like, goddamn. Cool. And now let's flesh out this ship here. Parents are at Vegas. I hope they win all the money. Hope they obtain thousands and thousands of dollars. That's not going to happen. I hope they don't lose money. Twiins works at NASA confirmed. Actually, fun fact, I do have a family member that works at NASA. Proud of him. Hope he's doing alright. Just want to get some dimension going on our ship here. I'm not very good at this, like, painterly style that I've opted for. But I think this is a good excuse to kind of study. Do just some studies. Ships are fun, you know, that's why we do, you know, shipping should be for fun. So, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you're enjoying it. And that's the important part. If you're taking requests, may I request the Saturn V rocket ship? I'll look into it. I'll write it down so I don't forget. Saturn V rocket. Cool. Back to the painting. Let's get a darker color in here for our dimensions. Twiins, I'm curious, how long have you been drawing for? Like today or like in life? Today, only about like 8 minutes. For life, I came out the pussy drawing Mozart. Like, but yeah, I've always been drawing. Always been a creative kiddo. So I wouldn't say it was good for a lot of that. but yeah. I remember when we were little, Critter and I we would draw these like comics of, it was so often it was like Zelda characters from Ocarina of Time and Mario characters like bumming around, having fun. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Yes. I heard you. Fitzgerald. yeah, we can get that chip on in here. Whoops, hang on, let me write that in something readable. Fitzgerald. Hell yeah. But yeah, we would draw comics of yeah, like video game characters kind of bumming around, having a little adventures and things. But we were always drawing. There's never been a time where we weren't doing some kind of art. Great question. That's a mighty fine ship, thanks. It's fine. It's okay at a distance. Again, I'm not amazing at like texturing or anything like that. I don't have the patience for it so often. Been more of an expressionist painter when it comes to realism. Which I like expressionism plenty. It's not my favorite form of art. I think expressionism can be a little drab. But I love, like, Monet, you know? Is it Monet? Yes, I love Monet. Claude Monet. And his stuff is just gorgeous. So there's an audience for it, no matter what. You gotta tell yourself that. You two were the original Control-Alt-Delete comics. How dare. Yes, but how dare. Help, I've been playing a lot of Uma Musume. I'm trying to get Smart Falcon, the idle horse. Well, good luck. I didn't get the girl I wanted and I stopped playing, so I cannot help you. I gotta flesh out these poles a little bit more. Kind of just vague brush strokes at the moment. We need a little bit of a dimension. The long and short of adding dimension to things like this really is just recognizing how shadows move around an object in 3D. Like, that's what line art is simulating. You know, for like a classic like cartoon, you know? The line art is just the darkest part of the shadows, effectively. So, it's doable if you're willing to study. That's the biggest thing. Realism, 1000% lives and dies on if you are willing to, like, draw, like, from reference. You know, that's where you truly get your boons. And so I can. It's just kind of boring. Also, my neck and back hurts so often while doing art. So, I don't know. I find myself kind of, not rushing, but I don't want to take forever doing one thing. Cause it'll hurt. Do you have a favorite painting? Mine is Starry Night. I have a poster in my bedroom. A favorite painting? That's tough, because there's a lot of different artists and a lot of different paintings that I really like. I could list any of Bob Ross's paintings. They're all gorgeous. I do really love Monet's, I forget what it's called, but it's like a watery, you know, a watery kind of like pond, with like a bridge, which I know unfathomably does not narrow it down. I just described most of Monet's paintings there. But yeah, that one's really stunning. There's a lot that I would have to look into like specific genres to give you like concrete answers, because I don't think there's one favorite painting that I have out there. There's definitely some that I like I can never remember his name. Pollock. Jackson Pollock with his splatter paintings. I like him. I'm the only person I know who actually likes him. So, you know, it is what it is. And, yeah, I'm not huge on Picasso, but I can't deny the impact of Guernica. Starry Night is really good. There are others by Van Gogh, that I prefer. His self-portrait after he cut off his ear is striking, but quite frankly, Sunflowers and also the multitude of his boots are, I think they're just better, like, compositions, more impressively rendered. So yeah, there's a handful of paintings I enjoy. Oh, we gotta get the sails in here. Totally forgot. But yeah, I love art. I wish I could talk about art all day. Absolutely right, shrimp posture. I mean, my tablet is on, so I got a table, and then my tablet, and then there's me drawing. So yeah, if I got like a stand, I could mitigate the pressure on my spinal cord. I think the kind of balance to that, though, is that Right, the sails. Is that I think it puts more strain on your arm to do it like that, but you know, whatever, man. My back hurts a lot, so I'd be willing to balance that shit out a little bit. We're gonna erase the, actually, we're gonna put everything behind. There we go. Oh, cool sails. The sails will be easy, because they're basically two-dimensional. Sage is Nodley. Twins with the flattering self-portraits. I always draw myself incredibly accurately. That's the thing. Fibonacci spine. Oh man, I gotta start using that more. That's good. I feel like a fraudulent art enjoyer because I don't know famous paintings, and I do own 2 paintings, but they're both anime girls, and one of them is Sango from Inuyasha. Hey, that's alright. Being a fan of art doesn't mean exclusively being a fan of the classics. I know all these classics because I went to college, and so I had to study all these things. Like, listen, I don't have any famous paintings on my walls. I've got 2 Miku posters. You know? So, you know, art appreciation can apply to anything, not just the classics. So, don't get yourself down because you're a weeb and you like your anime posters, you know? It's what the greats would have wanted. The greats and the not so greats. I'll think about Dimension really quick. Dimension, but like at a small scale here. Is there anything on that? Oh, a little flag. Okay, cool. That's my supreme ruler. Yeah, a lot of people like Starry Night. It's definitely one of the bigger ones. Like, everyone knows Starry Night. Oh, you know, I really like, The Scream by, Edvard Munch. That one's really good. You've seen it, for sure. Also, Mucha. He's basically the king of Art Nouveau, and, I think his style is so cool. It's one that I can't do. I can emulate it in some ways, but it hinges so much on having, like, a painterly art style. But Art Nouveau rules. I should talk about it at some point in, like a video or something. Sorry, I was thinking about dimensions. You know how it works. You know what we do here. We got a flag up here and a flag up here. We'll make them flaccid little flags. This one could be kind of billowing. A billowy flag. That one's a crumpled flag. I only have the Fallen Angel painting. You know, the one of Lucifer. That one's so good. Oh my gosh. What a 10 out of 10 painting. I can't believe that guy wasn't more popular. The, like, angry Lucifer one. Oh my gosh. That's so good. That's a great painting to have. I'd love to have that one. It's so well rendered. The expression, the emotion. Not to mention the, like, just like the anatomy and everything. So good. Oh my gosh. Now for the funnest part, it's water time. I'm gonna be kind of in deep ocean. And ship casts a level of shadow under the water. And then light reflects off of the water. Dun dun da 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 da. That's Zelda. Zelda boat theme. You know, Wind Waker. There we go. There's the Santa Maria. Wow. Hang on, actually, I wanna kind of just. There we go. And then. I want to thicken this part up a little. It looks a little flat. I want to... Okay, wow, boat! Yippee! I actually do know one off the top of my head, but it's a bit of a funny troll since because of the subject I forgot how to spell in French, but it translates to the origin of the world or something like that, and it's not my fault if you get jump scared by it. I'll just ignore it then. But you know what is... Oh, Francis Bacon. You should look him up. He has a great... horror catalog. Whoops, hang on. Let me, bring that back just so I can... Oh, I didn't even delete it or anything. Francis Bacon stuff is so good, and it's all very... It's horror without being, like, scary or gory. It's really fascinating. And his work is really interesting because Francis Bacon would paint on the wrong side of the canvas to give it a texture. Super cool. What a cool guy. Thinking outside the box. And I think that goes to show that there's no rules in art. You know, you don't have to paint on one side of the canvas. You can do something different if it gets you the solution you're looking for. Yeah, I'm adding all these dumb bow lines. These like the things that Peter Pan climbs up to go fight Captain Hook at the climax of the movie or whatever. Alright, there we go. There's a boat. Now let's do the Saturn V rocket. I spelled rocket ship wrong, gotta be honest. I missed the T. Copy. Wow, this one is bigger. Let me make my reference a little smaller. Okay, cool. Alright, now let's do this one. This is fun because we gotta put it in a different background. We'll even start with space. No, we won't. Yes, we will, because the rocket's white. The ship is white. Excuse me. So, let's make some space. Spice! If you're taking requests, can we also request the liquid the boat is in? Maybe. Maybe for the Fitzgerald one, we'll do a different liquid, but... I don't know, if you say something weird, then I'll just ignore you. I'm willing to take suggestions, but I'm also going to veto anything I don't like. So, give us plenty of room to play with there. I like space with dimension. I like space with, like, you know, stuff going on. I like when space is a little bit pink. Just got a little bit of pink in there. We can add stars later. Right. Let me kind of smudge some of that. All right, now let's paint a damn old ship. All that pink in space. It's more fun that way. I had that thought when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, I think. Oh, I haven't seen Guardians. It was one of the Marvel movies. Oh, I think it was just like the Guardians sections, or maybe the Thor sections of like Endgame. Space was just so colorful, and I enjoyed that. I thought it was more interesting that way. A dark space looks scarier. A colorful space looks like, yeah, let's go on an adventure, you know? Alright, I needed to zoom in to see what the heck was going on with these thrusters. Arbiter of everything but mostly opinions. Are cars just rock ships? I'm gonna say no. See, this is a ship because it's a rocket ship. You see? You understand? I don't want it to be that color. It's clearly a little yellowy in this reference image because of all the fire. Fire is a warm light. It casts things in yellow light. It's a little penisy right now, and that's not by design. Penises are just rocket ship shaped. There's something to be said about that, I'm sure. Something to glean. Space is crazy because what do you mean there's a black void out there that continues infinitely? Well, just think about it like, it's just the stuff between here and there. You know? Nothing to be scared of, just the stuff between here and there. Have you seen the scene in Steel Universe? Steven, I assume. Where Steven is floating in space? That just pops in my head now and then when thinking of space. I've seen all of Steven Universe. I was disappointed with how it ended. It wasn't very good. But, regardless. Yes. And I understand. I understand how that's where your head jumps to. Alright, and so we got... Got some black details. It's a little penisy right now, and that's not by design. It's a great quote, isn't it? Fun fact about Saturn V, it was the famous rocket that was used on the Apollo 11 mission. Wowee! Get this little window. I guess it's a window, kind of locked in here. It scares me more that the sun is like 1 million times bigger than the Earth and also 5 billion degrees. Yeah, but how convenient that it's over there, right? That it's just it's over there, so we don't gotta worry about it as much. It could be scary, but like, woof. Thank goodness we're not gonna be over there. Okay. Great, now let's add some shading to all of this, which I'm gonna do in a little bit of a different way. I want shadows to be more purpley, but I don't want to lose it in our space. So, actually gonna do this in a different way. I'm just wandering, you're gonna see. Oh, you can't see. Well, okay, I'm wandering into green. Maybe even pretty deep into green for these shadows. And it's gonna be a little goofy looking for a bit. But we're gonna make it all work. And the reason why we're doing that is we just wanna wander away from yellow. Because with really intense lights, like rockets, like how we're going to do here, you can see this is all yellow light over here, and the shadows will be the opposite of that. You're not going to have warm shadows up here, you're going to actually have cool shadows, because something science. So yeah, that's why we want to pull pretty deep shadows for our rocket ship as it flies through space. And we can blend this so it exists a little bit more cohesively, because we want a dichotomy between these blue shadows and our our steel. No, my old millennial legs can't keep up. Oh, Plant Doug appears. I'm glad I looked up. Let me find the boy. Where is you? I found him. It's Doug. Doug can go above you guys. There you go. If you all chat enough, you can all start pushing into the bottom of his little pot there. Now we're going to get really deep for our edge, kind of. I want basically black. Kind of like how we talked about with line art. Okay, I know it's a little goofy right now, but we're gonna add some yellow. And it's gonna make it slightly less goofy. And then we're gonna look at it from a distance. Something, something, are you happy to see me? Or is that a rocket in your canvas? I know, I wish I had some kind of audio thing to play when somebody cashed in, like redeems, and I just don't know how to make that happen. I gotta get on it, though. I'm a professional. There's no good excuses anymore. Never mind. I know, yeah, I didn't think she'll notice, never mind. Find it interesting that yellow so easily skews into green or orange. Warm blue is just teal, but cool yellow is sickly and weird. It is, and it's probably because of how our eyes see yellow. I think there's just not a lot of yellow in the visible light spectrum. It's also the hardest color for our eyes to process. It's why, like, you know, it's why it feels really bright, because it is. So yeah. So yeah, I think there just are more, like, cool colors. There are more blues and greens and teals than there are yellows. Which is why that happens. So it is goofy. We're silly little guys. I'm adding some kind of rim lighting. If you do that on a shadowy side, it can help things kind of stand out nicely. Cool. And now, the fun part. Fire. Even though I think by this point there would not be any fire. But like I said, shipping is fun, and that's why we draw ships, so we can have fun. Is it still a little penisy? Yes. It's a little less penisy, though. And you know what helps? This long tip. I think that's all I can say about that. This is a good yellow we have here. This, like, goldeny yellow we've got, that's nice and bright, so I want to make sure I get some of that onto our thrusters. And maybe even a little up here. Just to really imply, like, how hot it is. And real bright whites at the point of fire. And wow, it's a rocket ship! Wowee! Let's add some stars back here. We can do that with a different brush, so that I'm not sitting there going for like hours trying to get a little bit of pigment on the canvas. Ain't nothing wrong with mixed media. There are whole classes dedicated to that. I like to have a mix of yellow and white stars when I do space, personally. Similar to having, like, pink in there, it just gives it some kind of dimension, you know? Wow, it's spaceship! Human dog appears. Alrighty. The art game is gonna change drastically when we unlock the shrimp colors. I always feel like my yellows have to be almost blindingly white or else the color mustards. I tend to stick pretty pastel-y with my yellows. I'm not huge on yellow. But if I do wander into a more saturated color, so less white, I'll skew gold. I will wander into yellow-orange to make it a gold-y, because I find, personally, that, don't worry, I'm getting Doug. I remember him. There he is. Where do we put Doug? We'll just keep him big and put him over here. It's Doug. Yay, and now people will show up to stream and be like, I don't know which one's fucking talking. You could be a freak and have a blue star. You know, there could be one blue star. We'll add that one on. I read Warrior Cats. I'll have a pink one too, fuck it. It's my space, I can do what I want. Now let's get our Fitzgerald ship in here. But yeah, I find that gold has more value you get to work with, since, you know, gold is basically yellow-orange. So you get to wander into orange and also yellows, which includes, like, yellow-greens and red-orange. Like, you just, since you're in, like, the middle of that sort of arc, you get, you know, you just, it feels like you have more at your disposal. So yeah, it was a weird hiccup I just did there. Is this the Fitzgerald? What a goofy looking ship. Why is it this shape? How is this gonna be an even more penis-shaped ship? Wow, let's get this one as a reference image, but I do want to wander everything. This is a pretty warm colored photo, but everything else, we're looking a lot cooler, so I'll have to make sure I skew my, my values a little bit. I know the canvas is tiny on screen right now. There we go. Alright, another boat. Locking in. Aren't all colors like that? Yes, but that's the thing. Since, you know, kind of like how we were talking with, it feels like yellow quickly feels sickly. So using green to add shine to yellow is really hard. Using yellow to add shine to yellow-orange is a lot easier. That's kind of the thing. Yellow is the brightest color in our spectrum, so trying to make light on it without going straight to just straight white can be a bit more of a challenge. It's doable, but if you're not careful, it can end up looking like, kind of like fool's gold. You know, like that. So, because I'm a stinky cheater, I don't do that. And instead I just skew everything warmer and thusly darker so that I can use that yellow. Because that helps keep it feeling yellow without turning into either mustard or like boogers, you know? Definitely doable, but just not how I like to approach. But I'm not huge on yellow and orange anyway, so it makes sense that I'm like picky about them. What's this? Fun fact, pink light doesn't exist. Whenever we see pink, it's a mixture of red and blue light that our brains see as pink. Bonus fact, green light also doesn't exist. Which is why it's used in alien movies, because it feels unnatural, because it is not natural. And bonus fact, that makes the opening scene from Twilight, the one where they get married, the movie, really weird because it's all in this weird green lighting, and I think the implication was to make it feel like nature, but it just makes it feel alien and weird. Pretty nifty, huh? Is that the Fitzgerald in your harbor? Or are you just excited to see me? This looks like it had quite the crash. Looking at other pictures of the Fitzgerald, there's definitely one here of it in Twain on the bottom of the sea. It looks like the Fitzgerald, the Edmund Fitzgerald had a boo-boo. So maybe we'll represent its boo-boo with our ship art of it. The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald was a song by Gordon Lightfoot. Wow, great song, but it's a very long ballad. Gordon kind of did love doing that, didn't he? It's a meme about things that are too long, being the blank of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Wow. Wowee. I know I like Gordon Lightfoot, but I kind of can't think of any other of his songs. So don't be afraid to be like, this one! Also, there's this one! Don't forget this song, because so then I can be like, oh, I know that one. Or I could be like, oh, I don't remember that one. What a weird tale of the boat. What a weird-ass boat. What kind of boat was this? What was this thing doing? Other than sinking. I remember going to a museum about the Edmund Fitzgerald, and it was pretty fun. Museums are pretty damn fun. I'd like to work in a museum. My current job with the aliens is pretty alright. First day was bad. First day was so boring, and I felt like I kind of didn't get any tutorial on how to do anything. The aliens just sent me down and was like, okay, go. And it was like, but how? But, you know, I don't think, and most jobs aren't forever, and in a world where I got the opportunity, I think I would rather work in a museum. Especially an art museum. Oh man, getting to talk about art all day, every day, what a dream. Maybe one day. But yeah, that's the new lore. New lore. Twiins works for aliens. And it's hella cold. So this being kind of the back of the ship, there's kind of actually a lot going on over there, so I'll add some dimension right there, but we're going to be putting a lot of white around there. Can I suggest the Queen Mary? Absolutely. I'm gonna make sure I remember that. I want to add some light to this side really quick. Oh, hell yeah. This is kind of something nice to recall, you know, since the water does reflect light, so the bottom of boats will actually be illuminated. Nice. Let me write down the Queen Mary. Why is my brush so big? Great. I will remember what that means. Don't worry. Let's get some of this more whitish part happening on our Fitzgerald. Oh, new job, aliens. Complete setting change. Urges to draw twins in space intensify. Closer to heaven, yeah. Straight from the back rooms into space. Yeah, I'm on one of Jupiter's moons. That's the lore. So there you go. Freight ship used to deliver, a freight train used to deliver freight, like a really big matryoshka. If I remember correctly, from 5th grade, the Edmund Fitzgerald sank into the frigid depths of Lake Superior. Damn, I feel like Lake Superior isn't even that big. That sucks. Twiins in Space sounds like the sequel. We need to do the first movie beforehand, detailing her humble origins of falling from heaven and becoming a streamer. You're right. Twiins in Space also being the sequel sounds like it would either be like, we've jumped the shark, or it would be like Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure, where it's like, this is even better than the original, so what's even the point of watching the original? Love Bill and Ted. Absolutely 10 out of 10 boys. Every fella should want to grow up to aspire to be more like Bill and Ted. Is that a hot take? I don't know. But it's the truth. They're good boys. Man, the back of the boat's really weird. I might fuck that up. Might just fuck it around, but I don't know, we'll see. Twiins didn't like that it was a penis shape, so she decided to sink it. Well, mostly just because it's like, isn't it more interesting to sink a boat? Not that I would. There's definitely no boats I'm planning on having sink. Definitely don't assume that if something big were to happen on an important boat that it's my doing. Cause I would never. It's just more interesting. Yeah, look at that dimension. Goddamn. She's a real artist. Ha ha ha. For these like little windows, I'm gonna make them a cool color to kind of designate that they are different from the other things. Your Among Us emote is more relevant now. It really is! In a world where I still haven't played Among Us. She said that in the most ominous tone possible. I'm really good at doing that. Ominous McGillicuddy, what they all called me. Who are they? Don't worry about it. Has to be a campy spoof. It's a complete departure from the original tone and vibe of the first movie, but still fun in its own right, I'd like to think. Yeah, we gotta imply some more of this kind of dimension here. Oh yeah. Ooh, fuck yeah. Alright, and then fuck the back of the boat. Who cares? Oh! Other things going on with Twiins. I purchased Code Vein 2, and I really like it, but also it pisses me off. Code Vein 2, I think it's very fun. I've also fallen in love with one of the characters. His name is Noah. He's my husband. I hope they make figures of him. God damn, what a ludicrous difficulty spike. There's, like, your first kind of real major boss is, like, it's a crazy difficulty spike. And technically it's optional, but it's like, well, not if you want to get, like, the good ending, you know? And so, it's frustrating in that, it's nice that I can run away, basically, and, you know, find, like level up elsewhere, but shit, dude, it can be frustrating, but it's really fun, you know. Being a Souls-like, I'm not too surprised that it's like, oh wow, it gets hard. Yeah, okay. But I don't know. I feel like it's frustrating because, oh, thank you! It's Messiah! Oh, what a sweetie pie. Overhype and say thank you. He's my husband. I hope they make figures of him. Twiins, not ominous at all. He'd be cool to have on my shelf. There's already a figure of girl, of like, main girl. And so I'm like, and now Noah. I think what's most frustrating is the combat can sometimes feel kind of clunky. all of your animations kind of take a long time, but bosses move really quickly, and you have to stop moving to, like, heal yourself, but bosses just never lose aggro, and I don't know, I just feel like I'm constantly missing. I feel like I'm just never in a situation where I can confidently hit anything, and I'm always, like, miles away. But bosses have, like, huge hitboxes. Even enemies just have huge, like, they can hit you from anywhere in the map. And it feels like I need to be sniffing their assholes to, like, get a good hit in. And, yeah, so it can be frustrating, but I am enjoying myself. So, yay. Yay, it could be worse. See, it's different from Elden Ring because, I don't know, Elden Ring's combat is just tighter, and that's not too surprising. Elden Ring is, you know, the fucking, like, 5th game that, like, from a company that has been perfecting the craft that literally made the genre. And so I'm not surprised that Elden Ring just feels a little smoother, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I'd love for the Code Vein people to kind of find their footing a little bit more as they progress in their journey. I hope people actually play this one, because I'm seeing people say that this one is worse than Code Vein 1, and I demonstrably have to disagree. Code Vein 1 was boring and edgy and was a hallway simulator. Everything was you walking in hallways. Code Vein 2, you actually have, like, a world you get to run around in and explore, and that's cool and that's fun. And I don't know, I wouldn't say the combat is better or worse, just because I didn't play enough of 1 to, like, call myself an expert on it. But yeah, I hope people do play it. And that they make enough money that they can keep making games, because they keep throwing a fellow at you as your, like, first companion, and I'm like, it's made for me, for real. And it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, here's the waifu, and it's like, okay, but then you made me run around and hang out with handsome boy, you know? Clearly this is being made by people who actually appreciate me, a straight lady. There we go. The Edmund Fitzgerald, and our final ship for today is going to be the Queen Mary. Off topic, but a new ASDF movie came out a few days ago. Hopefully you know what that is. A second different friend. Is that what that means? There's a new Castlevania game coming out soon. I did not know. I'll have to look into that. I'd also like the Code Vein people to remember their game is a spin-off of God Eater. Is it? Well, I didn't know. So, I couldn't care less. But I hope you get what you're looking for. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. Hang on. Hype train incoming. Why? What an ominous thing to receive. Well, yippee. There's a hype train. How hype? Everyone get on the train, but we're doing ships. Yep, everything I heard about Code Vein was anime girls in hallways. Yeah, and it was that, but there were also boys. But now it's anime boys and girls, but not in hallways. So, you know, could be worse. Off topic. Oh, right, I read that one. Choo-choo, apparently. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like 12 minutes passed since Messiah gave out a single sub as well. I guess that's all you need to get a hype train going. God Eater is a tragic victim of trying to get into Monster Hunter genre and failing tragically. Oh, what a shame. I hope that can come back too, because I think we could definitely use more Monster Hunter types. Especially since Monster Hunter, I feel like half the time they completely drop the ball. Like the one on Monster Hunter Wilds is just disappointing to me. So yeah, I'd love for more games like that. Is the Queen Mary the haunted one? Queen Mary's definitely haunted, right? I feel like it is. I need more space. For my boaties. Hang on. Change my canvas size. Become taller. I'm glad that my rickety crickety keyboard that you guys get to hear it every time. Thank you! It's Stereotype Gamer! What a sweetie pie! 17?! Wow, 17 total to the channel, and this one's for Orion. What a swell pal. Orion, say thank you, Stereotype Gamer. Thank you, Stereotype Gamer. That's not what I want to make my canvas even a little bit taller. Just so I've got plenty of room. I don't like feeling squished on a canvas. I think we need one more to get to level 2. What do we get at level 2? What does the train transform? Into a hype tank? Think it's haunted? Think I remember Shane Dawson did a ghost hunting video about it? Okay, yeah, I thought so. I thought it was this one. Man, back when we all got tricked into thinking Shane Dawson was a person worth giving a shit about. What if I draw a Queen Mary from straight on? It's kind of boring. Like, yeah, I can. What if I draw it from top down? Oh. Now there we go. Now there's a boat. A ship, excuse me. Does it bug you to be squished? It do. It do. I don't know, if the canvas is too small, I feel like I end up, like, restraining myself a lot. I don't know, I get in my own head about like, how much space I can allow myself, and especially when drawing characters, that's when I'm most likely to, like, make weird proportion decisions. Like, have characters that are just, like, tiny legs or something like that, you know? So yeah. We gotta figure out what color of liquid the Queen Mary's gonna be in. What if it's blood? 'Cause it's haunted! We'll do that. You all don't get a say. It's my ship art. I really chose a real hell of an angle here. Let's get this blood river going then, so I can kind of see what the heck I'm doing. I still haven't seen Markiplier's movie. I still do want to. I just still haven't. Great. I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing here. And this also means I gotta see all these giant open spots in my in my coloring work here. Very edgelordy of you, Twins. I guess we could spin it as, oh, it's like sunset. Can we get a mere raft to brave these tormentous seas? Yes. We'll end the stream with a raft. How's that sound? You deserve at least that. Oh, okay. I was on a completely different layer. Whoops. Oh well, that's alright. I see it sailing down the Nile, the Prince of Egypt. That's lovely. You can draw it yourself now. Oh, I guess it was a reference. Want to see it, even though I hate horror movies. I know, it's just, well, first of all, Iron Lung didn't really scare me, because you all know I like my, my spooky fishes. So I wasn't even, like, all that frightened by it or anything. And also, I don't know, I really want to see what Mark does. I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. He's been working so hard. Maybe that's parasocial of me, but, I don't know, but I've been watching Mark for a long damn time. He doesn't know who I am, and he never will, and that's okay. I can sit here and be happy that his things are working out. Oh, in the world of people making content I enjoy, by the way, Flawed Peacock has finally released his video talking about No, I'm Not a Human. You all might remember, I played that. That was fun. I made an edited video of the playthrough as well. I've talked about Flawed Peacock before. 10 out of 10 content. You should absolutely check him out. Super long, so it's really great to have in the back while you're, like, working on art or something. And yeah, good analysis. Also watch his videos on, like, Faith, the Unholy Trilogy, and Inscription. Really good stuff. Check out Flawed Peacock. I will preach the good of Mr. Peacock until the cows come home. So y'all had better just start watching him now. So you know. It's like, oh yeah, the interesting funny guy that Twiins talks about. Says, hey, watch his stuff, and then I do, and I go, wow, that's not for me. Yeah, yes, I'm gonna draw you guys a raft, don't worry. I did hear he set a record for most fake blood ever used in a movie. Also, I learned of that when he revealed that he was in the hospital for having a shitload of fake blood go into his eyes. And, they were, like, dyed red. And it was like, oh, Mark. Oh, honey. Yeah, I'm struggling with the dimension here a little bit. Cool. Okay, great. Okay, yeah. Now we're starting to feel more like a thing with that actually exists and not a concept on a canvas, you know? It wasn't even scary. It's more suspense or thriller. Honestly, don't know much about what classifies as a certain genre except for the obvious stuff. I think thrillers can be horrifying. I think the situation matters a lot. Like scary concepts, basically, I think is a big thing for it. But yeah. Genres are complex and can be pretty hard to kind of nail down sometimes. Oh, I gotta get some dimension on the coolest part of the boat, this part down here. Since we've got also our red edgelord water, quote unquote, we're gonna want to reflect that onto the boat with some purple lighting. Just a little bit of purple on our ship. We can even go even purplier, kind of. And we're not going full red because it's blue, and so that's how it would reflect light. Wowee wow willikers. Well, goodbye. Adios, stereotype. Have fun. Doing smart things and being proactive. Howdy, hey, lovely creator, welcome, thanks. We've got the Santa Maria, and we've got the Future V rocket ship. We got the Edmund Fitzgerald, and now we're doing the Queen Mary. And we're gonna finish stream off with a coolio. A little raft for you guys. Ever since you finished your playthrough of No, I'm Not a Human, I saw more content of it. You somehow evaded a lot of creepy stuff. Whoa, I know. I looked up. I'm on the wiki all the time, looking at characters and different endings and things. And yeah, I really swerved on a lot of stuff, but I really enjoyed my playthrough. I like that I don't know, that I like how I played it, you know? Played it how I wanted to. And I think now, trying to get like a specific ending would stress me out. So yeah, but there's a lot of cool stuff. And there was a big update that like added a bunch more new like guests and things. So if you really enjoyed No, I'm Not a Human, then there's more for you. So yeah, don't be afraid to download it. It was dog cheap. And I didn't even like get it on sale, I think. So yeah, do that. Do that. Enjoy yourself, have fun, play a game. Hang on. Those are wrong. Those are angling the wrong way. Smudging them a little bit so they blend in a little bit better. Wow. Cool boat. And now let's get you guys your little dinky raft. Gotta go? Well, adios. We'll be wrapping up in the not too distant future here. So don't worry. You're not missing out on anything fun. Okay, now that Messiah's gone, everyone, say your funniest jokes. So much Kool-Aid. If I wanted to, I could kind of add like a bit of an orangey hue to it to really imply like a sunset. But I think we'll stick with our edgy Kool-Aid. Actually, I think they're all kind of lit from the front here, so let's be a little different. Have some backlighting. Hey Twins, have you ever tried painting with the lasso tool and airbrush? I haven't. I've seen like videos about that, and it's just not how my brain works. It's been like it's looked spiffy, but I don't know. It's just not how I ever think to, especially the lasso tool. If I'm gonna do something like that, I'm more likely to like paint, basically. Especially because, I don't know, I feel like the lasso tool, like, I would end up with a bunch of little things that would be clunky and annoying to deal with. But, I've seen that, and it looks dang spiffy. Maybe one day I'll just, like, test it out, and then I'll be like, oh my god, I should have been doing this the whole time! I don't know, all my jokes are in the draft phase. Something something Moby Dick, something something Wilson, I'm sorry. Wow, this is why I'm the streamer. Your guys' joke game could use a bit of an upgrade. Hang on, actually, we're gonna put the sprinkles on another layer. This is what you guys look like. But you knew that. I have a dad joke, but I think it's too inappropriate. If it's inappropriate, then it's not a dad joke. That's the rule, I think. Hang on. No, yeah, okay. And then... let's get your little arms. Your little arms and your sunglasses. Gotta get your little sunnies in here. What a couple of goobers. I've never drawn a sprinkle facing away from camera before. That one's weird. Imagine you draw a sprinkle swimming after the boat. It represents Excalibur, always late. That one's not feeling well. That one's absolutely gonna vomit. Green one is gonna upchuck everywhere. It's gonna be a real shame. Alright, let's get you guys some water. What color water? We've got a deep blue, we've got purpley space, we've got a teal, we've got Kool-Aid. We'll do this. We'll do kind of like a... swamp green. No, we'll keep things a little kind of like a fun, dreamy kind of bluey violet shade. No, that's a little violet. A little too violet. Gotta wander it back in. You guys are still, by the way. You're not moving forward. You're just in a... we're in a boat! Well, there you go. That's you guys. I love the green. Make it piss yellow. What if it was clouds? The full gambit of options there, really. But wow, what a cool spread of ships we've got. Here, let's get rid of our reference images and we'll clean up our that one's on a layer. We're gonna do this then. We're just gonna cut off an edge anyway, so let's badoink. And also I wanna make our canvas actually just still a little bit taller. It's gonna be like a smidgen. Just so that our Kool-Aid isn't cutting off the edge there. I'm gonna clean up this edge. And what layer are you on, huh? I've only got like 5 of them. Okay, okay. Awesome. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you all have fun being single and lonely. Because I know most of you are. just like me. I hope if you have a significant other, you do something fun. And I hope if you don't have a significant other, you still have fun. Oh, just shut up. I wasn't telling you guys to shut up. I was telling the Phil bucket to shut up. Yeah, Messiah, you know, Messiah will be fine. We don't need to worry about him. With his loving wife. Ships! Wow. Cool. Yippee! What a fun little stream this was. Well, I will then, thank you. Sorry you're late, your mother got you cake. Well, yeah, you showed up just in time to see the art. So happy Valentine's Day. I'm glad you got cake. So yeah, adios. See you on the flip side. I don't know when that will be exactly. I'll try to keep you guys updated on like Twitter and Blue Sky actually. I didn't do that this week just because I had no idea what the week was gonna look like, you know? Okay, but who's your favorite Stardew? Crackship. Crackship? What's his name? Sebastian X Penny. Everyone ships him with the like gamer Abigail. But no, Sebastian should date Penny, cause she wants to get out of Stardew Valley and he wants to get out of Stardew Valley, and he'd drive her away, you know, like take her away, you know, rescue her on his motorcycle, finish his motorcycle, and they drive off somewhere better and happier. So yeah, there you go. It's 10 out of 10. Everyone else needs to get on my level. This is what I'm saying. So, yeah, goodbye. Adios, make smart choices. Actually, is anyone streaming right now? We might raid into somebody. Yeah. Let's do, a raid. Because they're fun and because I can. And so if you want to hang out, and continue, hanging out with people, then hang out and be friendly and cool. And if not, well then adios. I hope you have fun. So, yippee! We're gonna raid into Shy Lude. She's playing Overwatch, I believe. Yep. So if you care about Overwatch, cool. Be polite, be awesome. I like how you often are. And goodbye. Make smart choices. I forgot that I need to wait 10 seconds for a raid to actually happen. The Bad Boy and Good Girl classic. I know, it's so tasty, isn't it? So yeah, goodbye, adios, eat your vegetables. And goodbye. Goodbye, stream. Goodbye.